मस्ताना होता है। हर खुशी से हर गम से बेगाना होता है। प्यार दीवाना होता है, मस्ताना होता है। हर खुशी से हर गम से बेगाना होता है। जाना होता है। हर खुशी से हर गम से बेगाना होता है। प्यार दीवाना होता है, मस्ताना होता है। हर खुशी से हर गम से बेगाना होता है। रहे कोई सौ पर्दों में परे शर्म से, नजर अजी लाख चुराए कोई सनम से। रहे कोई सौ पर्दों में परे शर्म से, नजर अजी लाख चुराए कोई सनम से। जाना होता है। हर खुशी से हर गम से बेगाना होता है। प्यार दीवाना होता है, मस्ताना होता है। हर खुशी से हर गम से बेगाना होता है। बेगाना होता है, बेगाना होता है, बेगाना होता है। थैंक यू।
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
I speak of none other than Mr. Deorup Timal. Deorup Timal was born and raised in Tunapuna. He is the proud father of two and has been a community activist for most of his life. He is now the new and current president of the National Council of Indian Culture, the NCIC. Even with his increased workload at the NCIC, his duties as an independent senator and heading up his construction business, he is a civil and structural engineer and project manager with over 37 years experience. Timal continues to be involved in the Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh, a voluntary non-profit social and cultural organization which aims to organize the Hindu community in order to preserve, promote, and preach Hindu ideals and values. It gives me great pleasure to now introduce to you, to bring greetings, the President of the National Council of Indian Culture, Mr. Deorup Timal.
Thank you very much, Vijay. Namaskar and a most pleasant afternoon to everyone here. Today, it is 29 years since Indian Arrival Day was declared a holiday. And in a country with a lot of public holidays, Indian Arrival Day was added, and some people are still asking, why? Now we have 14 public holidays, outside of Carnival that is. 7 are based on the religious diversity of the country. And we have 2 dedicated to nation. That is, of course, our Independence Day and Republic Day. 3 for the welcoming of the New Year, Boxing Day, and Labor Day. And it leaves 2 public holidays, namely Indian Arrival Day and Emancipation Day, that I believe these 2 holidays have a tremendous role to play in the shaping of our young nation. So what we do with Indian Arrival Day is of particular importance because it is an opportunity to go beyond tolerance and build understanding, build respect, build trust, enhance the knowledge of our Girimitia forefathers who came to this land, so that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago can develop a broader understanding and an appreciation, thus bringing about that trust and that confidence and that respect for each other in our diverse nation. And in this regard, the National Council of Indian Culture has embraced Indian Arrival Day over the years. But last year, we deliberately branded the month of May Indian Heritage Month to coincide with the celebration or the commemoration of Indian Arrival Day. And this year is the 2nd year that we have organized a series of events throughout the month of May. Now, it is not just about the performing arts, and it is not just about the visual arts, but we have also included the work started by the NCIC Heritage Center, particularly in the area of literature and literary works by some of our local authors. So on display this year, we have mounted a display of books by Indo-Trinidadian authors, particularly women authors, and in addition, all authors who have written books on the Indian experience here in Trinidad and Tobago and in the wider Caribbean. And we hope to expand this in the years to come and also to broaden our collection at our Heritage Library that is housed on this very site. We also started off with a breakfast seminar, and that breakfast seminar was based on debunking the myths, some of the myths surrounding Indian indentureship. And it was well received. I think on TTT it has been played several times, and we understand from the producers at TTT that a lot of interest has been shown because we did address some of the myths regarding land, regarding the issue of illegitimacy, regarding Hindu and Muslim marriages, and we intend to delve further into that. So I would like to welcome our Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, Senator the Honorable Randall Mitchell, Mr. Winston Dukaran, our feature speaker, Mr. Surjir Mangro, our first Vice President, other directors of the board of the NCIC, members of the NCIC, and all of you who have joined us here physically and who are also looking at us virtually on our YouTube channel. We trust that in the years to come, you will continue to support us. I must acknowledge the support from the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts for their most generous contribution to this year's celebration. And we trust further collaboration, we can have a more synergetic relationship as we go down the road. We would also like to acknowledge our sponsors and thank them very much for their support, but details of which you would get later down the road when Mr. Mangro give the closing remarks for this program. So please, everybody, enjoy the program. And once again, thank you all very much for your support.
Thank you, President Timol. We'd like to recognize the presence of our Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, Senator the Honorable Randall Mitchell, as well as our feature speaker, Mr. Winston Dukaran. Continuing with the entertainment, the following artist holds a bachelor's degree in geomatics engineering and is pursuing a master's in geoinformatics. He's an accomplished musician, a finalist in Mastana Bahar, NCIC's Youth Champ competition, the Prime Minister's Best Village competition, and in 2022 he was crowned the champion at the Niliji Independence Classical Singing Competition. This evening he'll be performing local classical songs and traditional chutney. Following this item, we'd also have a singer, musician, composer, songwriter, and television personality who's a member of the NCIC, who serves on various social outreach boards and organizations, performing 2 local compositions, Mr. Ram Naresh Dwarka. But ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Devashish Ramdat.
Sound check 1. Sound, testing for sound 1, 2.
Yamuna Godavari Sindhu Saraswati Sangh Sakal Tirath Jaha Vasat Jaha Hari Katha Ko Prasang Yaha Baithe ध्यान सुनो खोलो दोनों कान देवशिष के गाना अब सुनो ये है सच्चा ज्ञान ये जागो मेरे प्यारे जागो जागो मेरे प्यारे आयर जागो बंसी वाले ललना ये जागो मेरे अरे जागो बंसी वाले ललना जागो मेरे प्यारे अरे जागो बंसी वाले ललना जागो मेरे प्यारे घर घर खोल किवारे। रजनी बीती भोर भये है घर घर खोल किवारे। गोपी दही मटक सुनियत है कंगन के झनकारे। अरे जागो बंसी वारे ललना जागो मेरे प्यारे। अरे जागो बंसी वारे ललना जागो मेरे। अरे जागो मेरे प्यारे। ये जागो मेरे प्यारे ललना जागो मेरे प्यारे। ये जागो बंसी वारे ये जागो बंसी वारे ललना जागो मेरे प्यारे। ये जागो बंसी वारे ललना जागो मेरे प्यारे। रजनी बीती भोर भये है घर घर खोल किवारे। गोपी दही मत सुनियत है कंगन के झनकारे। उठो लाल जी भोर भयो है सुनर थारे द्वारे। ग्वाल बाल सब कर बकुला कर जय जय सब उर्छारे। माखन रोटी हाथ मिली हाँ गौवन के रखवारे। मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर तरन आए तारे। अरे जागो मेरे प्यारे ये जागो बंसी वारे ललना जागो मेरे प्यारे। माखन रोटी हाथ मिली गौवन के रखवारे। गौवन के रखवारे। ये माखन रोटी हाथ मिली गौवन के रखवारे। मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर तरन आया तारे। ये जागो मेरे प्यारे ललना जागो मेरे प्यारे। ये जागो बंसी वारे ललना जागो मेरे प्यारे। अरे जागो बंसी वारे ललना जागो अरे जागो मेरे प्यारे। अरे जागो बंसी वारे। ये भवन नहीं आए भवन नहीं आए। ये भवन नहीं आए भवन नहीं आए भवन नहीं आए। आए रे सखीनन अरे सखीनन लाला भवन नहीं आए। सखीनन लाला भवन नहीं आए। भवन नहीं आए भवन नहीं आए। ये भवन नहीं आए भवन नहीं आए भवन नहीं आए भवन नहीं आए। अरे सखीनंद अरे सखीनंद अरे सखीनंद लाला भवन नहीं आए। आए रहे कहा अब लागी मन मोहन। रख कहा अब लागी मन मोहन। अरे निशान निहारे निहारे अरे निशान निहारे निहारे। अरे सखीनंद अरे सखीनंद अरे सखीनंद लाला भवन। ये भवन नहीं आए भवन नहीं आए। ये भवन नहीं आए भवन नहीं आए भवन नहीं आए। सखीनंद अरे सखीनंद अरे सखीनंद लाला भवन नहीं आए। ये हवा भवन में रस की हो। हवा भवन में रस की हो। ये मोहन मोही रखतारे रखतारे मोहन मोही रखतारे रखतारे। अरे सखीनंद लाला भवन नहीं आए। ये भवन नहीं आए, भवन नहीं आए, भवन नहीं आए, भवन नहीं आए, भवन नहीं आए। सकीनंद अरे सकीनंद लाला भवन नहीं आए। ये सामदेव तेरे विनती करत है, ये साम्बुदराम तेरे विनती करत है। ये तुम तो कहे फल भरी फल भरी, तुम तो कहे फल भरी फल भरी। अरे सकीनंद लाला भवन नहीं आए, 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 भवन नहीं आए। अरे सकीनंद, अरे सकीनंद, अरे सकीनंद, अरे सकीनंद लाला भवन नहीं आए, सकीनंद लाला भवन नहीं आए, सकीनंद लाला ये भवन नहीं आए। थैंक यू।
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest varieties, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less. Care for you. That's why we always have the widest varieties, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings.
Sita and Shani in the audience. Most of you would have been hearing me on the radio and television talking about alcoholism and drug addiction. Today, I have composed, with the help of my mother, a song that would send a message. This would be followed by another song on the indentureship experience. The lyrics are very important. Pay attention. जो विद्या को नहीं पढ़े सो पीछे पछताए, जो विद्या को नहीं पढ़े सो पीछे पछताए, अंतिम में गदहा बने लाद लाद मर जाए। दारू का पीना छोड़ दो तुम भारत देश के लाले, दारू का पीना छोड़ दो तुम भारत देश के लाले, दारू का पीना छोड़ दो तुम भारत देश के लाले। दारू पी के दंगा करते करते, मात पिता के बात न माने, दारू पी के दंगा करते, मात पिता के बात न माने, मुख तुम करो चंदाला, मुख तुम करो चंदाला, तुम भारत देश के लाला, दारू का पीना छोड़ दो तुम भारत देश के लाला। घर के स्त्री पत्र बिन झंखे, घर के लड़कन भोजन बिन तरसे, घर के स्त्री पत्र बिन झंखे, घर की लड़कन भोजन बिन तरसे, नशे में तुम बेहाला, नशे में तुम बेहाला, तुम भारत देश के लाला, दारू का पीना छोड़ दो तुम भारत देश के। दुकानदार सब पैसा लेते, अपने आप को दोष न देते, दुकानदार सब पैसा लेते, अपने आप को दोष न देते, परिवार को मुख काला, परिवार को मुख काला, तुम भारत देश के लाला, दारू का पीना छोड़ दो तुम भारत देश के लाला, तुम भारत देश के लाला, तुम भारत देश के। This is the experiences our ancestors went through coming here on this internship journey. मैं तो आया चिनीदाद के नौकरिया रे, मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो आया चिनीदाद के नौकरिया, मोर बाबूजी, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबूजी, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबू, तो आया चिनीदाद के नौकरिया रे, मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो आया चिनीदाद के नौकरिया रे, मोर बाबूजी। मुल्क से आया चीनी तत्वा में उतरी, मुल्क से आया चीनी तत्वा में उतरी, कोठी में मिल गए कोठरिया रे, मोर बाबूजी, अरे कोठी में मिल गए कोठरिया रे, मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो चिनीदाद के नौकरिया रे, मोर बाबूजी, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबूजी, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो आया चिनीदाद के नौकरिया रे, मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो आया चिनीदाद। होत भोर सरकार जगावे, होत भोर सरकार जगावे, साहिब पीते केवरिया रे मोर बाबूजी, अरे साहिब पीते केवरिया रे मोर बाबूजी। मोर बाबूजी, मोर बाबूजी, मोर बाबूजी, मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो निदा के नौकरिया रे मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो। पनवा में दाल भात कान्हे पर कुदारी, पनवा में दाल भात कान्हे पर कुदारी, केन पीस के कर ले तैयारी रे मोर बाबूजी, अरे केन पीस के कर ले तैयारी रे मोर बाबूजी। मोर बाबू, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबूजी, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो आया निदा के नौकरिया रे मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो आया निदा। सफा सफा केंतुल मांगे चिकन चिकन धारी, सफा सफा केंतुल मांगे चिकन चिकन धारी, ऊपर से गरियावे महतारी रे मोर बाबूजी, अरे ऊपर से गरियावे महतारी रे मोर बाबूजी। मोर बाबू, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबूजी, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो आया निदा के नौकरिया रे मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो। छूट गए माए बाप, छूट गए भाई बंधु, छूट गए माए बाप, छूट गए भाई बंधु, छूट गए सारी नगरिया रे मोर बाबूजी, अरे छूट गई सारी नगरिया रे मोर बाबूजी। मोर बाबू, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबूजी, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबू, मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो आया निदा के नौकरिया रे मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो निदा के नौकरिया रे मोर बाबूजी, मैं तो। Thank you very much.
Thank you to Devashish Ramdath and Ram Naresh Dwarika. Namaste, I trust that you all are enjoying the program thus far. My name is Devi Ramnath and I will be one of your hosts for today's program as well. Our next item, specializing in Indian classical dancing, modern Indian dance, as well as Chutney and Soka dances, the Khalnayak Dance Academy takes great pleasure in being role models for the upcoming generation and recognizes their responsibility to ensure the longevity of both East Indian and local culture in Trinidad and Tobago. Dancing to Har Kar Day by Niti Mohan with choreography by Brian Mangaru, the Khalnayak Dance Academy will perform next. After the Khalnayak Dance Academy, we have the Shiva Gana organization, whose motto is empowerment through self-upliftment, which is the mantra which inspires their work in communities, whether it's religious, cultural, or social. They are also the only group that celebrates both Ram Leela and Krishna Leela annually. They are here to perform today a chautal, a traditional folk item. So please join me in welcoming our first item, the Khalnayak Dance Academy.
चढ़ा वीरा प्रेम का के मन रंगों का होवे दरिया। हाँ दिल में गाए दे फकीरा प्रेम का के कान्हा सा बना रे सांवरिया। ओ दरस न दे पर आँख में डोले मन गद गद कर दे। जग थिरक 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 झूमे रे। हो हद कर दे पिया हद कर दे रे। हर सरहद को रद कर दे रे। हद कर दे पिया हद कर दे रे। हर सरहद को रद कर दे रे। हो यूं हम पे है चढ़ा अबीरा प्रेम का ये मन रंगों का होवे दरिया।
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest varieties, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
मृगचाला जटा गंगा और ज्ञानी ओ अंग विभूतल ये मृगचाला जटा गंगा और ज्ञानी ओ अंग विभूतल ये मृगचाला जटा गंगा और ज्ञानी ओ अंग विभूतल ये मृगचाला जटा गंगा और ज्ञानी ओ अंग विभूतल ये मृगचाला जटा गंगा और ज्ञानी ओ अंग विभूतल ये मृगचाला जटा
Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest varieties, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
We now invite Charge d'Affaires of the Indian High Commission, Shri Raju Sharma, to bring us greetings.
All protocols observed. His Excellency Mr. Randall Mitchell, Honorable Minister for Tourism, Culture and the Arts. His Excellency Dr. Winston Dukran, former Honorable Finance Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs. Senator the Honorable Devrup Timal, President, National Council of Indian Culture. Dignitaries and excellencies present on the occasion. Mr. Suraj Dev Mangru, First Vice President, National Council of Indian Culture. Mr. Sahdev Pratap, Mr. Chandradat Singh, former High Commissioner for Trinidad and Tobago to the Republic of India, and ma'am, distinguished guests, members of media, and my brothers and sisters in Trinidad and Tobago. Sitaram, good evening. Sadar Namaskar from High Commission of India in Port of Spain. I am more than privileged and honored to have been invited with so much of affection by the National Council of Indian Culture to join all of you in the celebration of the Indian Arrival Day 2023, which is very aptly themed with Yaatra Jaaree hai, the journey is on. The indentured laborers from various parts of India, as we all know, had landed in Trinidad and Tobago in 1845, that is 178 years ago. 178 years ago, 178 years are a very small period in the life of a nation. History tells us that they left some part of their life behind in India when they started from India in small numbers. And also they brought along quantifiably small but a variety of knowledge, skills, equipment, food, clothes, faiths, emotions, sentiments, sincerity, loyalty, determination, hard work, spirit of life, desire to fulfill their dreams, and perseverance to succeed, which has gradually resulted in ensuring that their descendants feel proud as a Trinidadian national. The ancestors from India, marked with first arrivals, are understood to have toiled very, very hard with blood and sweat to settle down, form families, make homes, and settle down in this rainbow nation called Trinidad and Tobago. The later generations have since grown, hearing stories that the first arriving forefathers gave their all to the society and to the nation, and that is how the nations are built. Yaatra Jaaree hai, the journey goes on. Today, you all enjoy life while taking pride in their heritage and legacy. Heritage contains history filled with lessons, and legacy carries the responsibility assigned by your forefathers to you to build a future for next generation. What we are and how we conduct now is the contemporary civilization, and this will become history for the future generations one day. So Yaatra Jaaree hai and the journey is still on. It has been my learning that Trinidad and Tobago and India share languages, Bhojpuri, Awadhi, Hindi, Urdu and others, faiths and beliefs, festivals, traditions, conventions, practices, food, costumes, art and culture, knowledge and skills, thoughts, actions, perceptions, and much, much more. Any Indian living here in Trinidad and Tobago feels at home because he finds quite a lot of what he needs to survive well, considering the usual Indian lifestyle. And when you travel to India, you too observe and feel the commonness of various aspects of life, and you can compare them to yours in your own way. No doubt the forefathers of ours and yours once lived on the same soil, and those natural instincts make us very similar in many aspects, despite the changes in lifestyles that have crept in our lives during these close to 18 decades. हम एक जैसे ही हैं, we are similar. The people who visit India with any purpose get an opportunity to land on the soil their forefathers came here from, to see what has changed and transformed in India since then. They can compare, analyze, and draw conclusions of their own. Analysis prompts ponderance. The coronavirus pandemic seems to be over now, and life has returned to be quasi-normal now. As the world is changing at a fast pace, it is imperative that the people of the two countries join hands and explore together information technology, digital transformation, artificial intelligence, higher education, pharmaceuticals, renewable energy, work, business, tourism, medical tourism, agriculture, infrastructure, traditional systems of Indian medicine, yoga, spirituality, and action for future growth, as well as tracing the roots. If we build on what we have inherited and secure a green, clean future with facilities, support, and opportunities for Gen Next, it will be a tribute to the forefathers of yours and mine. And that is what I wish to say. Yatra jari rehni chahiye. The journey must go on. In my belief, some vital factors that keep us interwoven are language. Language, I believe, is the mother of knowledge, as it gives birth to thoughts and action. Sanskar, faiths and paths, festivals are similar perceptions despite different lifestyles, and our curiosity to keep exploring what is happening there in Trinidad and Tobago or here in India. मन के बंधन आज भी हैं. Elements of bonds still keep us together, well bound. We have to agree that things have not remained the same as they were 178 years ago. Of course, changing situations and developments have expectedly changed lives, swiftly, quietly, and naturally. But we think along the same lines, how to improve the life and the quality of life. This common thought process forms the basis of long-term vision, well-planned action, determinations, patience, and perseverance. However, there is need to remain unstoppable until a bright future is at our doorstep. We have to learn from the past, act in the present, and build a safe, developed future for younger generations. If we work together, we can grow and prosper together. Self-reliance and support to each other are two key factors that will make us survive well in any situation in future. यात्रा एक साथ भी जारी रह सकती है. The journey can be performed together too. From the perspective of long-term future, I always appeal to the children and the youth. You are today, you are tomorrow, you are the nation. The present and the future depend on what you are and how you conduct. Nation is like a human body, always under construction. You have to give your very best to keep rebuilding the nation of your dreams. I believe that Trinidad and Tobago and India can take potential to partnership. But the question is, will we do so and how? India has been a friend and will always remain a reliable partner in the future to come. Let us pray that our friendship strengthens further in decades to come. आइए यात्रा एक साथ जारी रखें. Let us travel together in future as well. I once again convey my sincere thanks to the National Council of Indian Culture, NCIC, for inviting us at this annual introspective commemoration, and to their team who made this beautiful event possible and successful today. I am also indebted to all of you for the warm hospitality, friendliness, and sincerity which we always keep receiving. When we leave Trinidad and Tobago, we will certainly carry with us fond memories of your love. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Charge d'Affaires Shri Raju Sharma. At this time, we would like to ask Shri Raju Sharma to please take center stage. We would like to also request the first Vice President of the National Council of Indian Culture, Mr. Surajdev Mangru, to now present a token of appreciation on behalf of the National Council of Indian Culture. Thank you very much. Shri Raju Sharma, Charge d'Affaires of the Indian High Commission of India in Trinidad and Tobago, and also the first Vice President of the National Council of Indian Culture, Shri Surajdev Mangru. To tell us what's next, I now invite Shri Lian Duki.
Thank you, Vijay. And we must say thank you to Central Exotic Orchids for those beautiful floral arrangements. Next on our program, she started singing at the age of 5. She's the granddaughter of the late classical singing icon Ustad Ramdani Sharma, performing a local classical and traditional chutney. Let's welcome Sintra Suku.
तू कन्हैया गैया चढ़ाओ, अरे दूजल कुटिया चीज कन्हैया कचन कांच है, अरे गोपियन में छिप जाए, अरे मन गोपियन में छिप जाए। छूट कन्हाई सिरी घुंघरू बारा, गवा चढ़ावे कान्हा जमुना किनारा। छूट कन्हाई सिरी घुंघरू बारा, गवा चढ़ावे कान्हा जमुना किनारा। एक तो कन्हाई गए अलसाई, उठी जगावे यशोमती माई। एक तो कन्हाई गए अलसारी, उठी जगावे यशोमती माई। उजहु लाल मुख माखन खाई, नहीं बन जई बेजरा बन जाई। बंसी हमारा रलीन चुराई, हमके सोच भयो गति खाई। बंसी हमारा रलीन चुराई, हमके सोच भयो गति खाई। सोच करो नहीं कृष्ण कन्हाई, सुनती बंसी देव बनवाई। सोन की बंसी न मांगे मोरे माई, पास की बंसी मकान बसत है। सोन की बंसी न मांगे मोरे माई, पास की बंसी मकान बसत है। वहाँ बंसी सुर सुर से आई, पवन वंदन गाई है। सूर शाम बलिया शरण के, कान्हा के कंचन पाई पाई। सूर शाम बलिया शरण के, कान्हा के कंचन पाई पाई। कान्हा के अंचन पाई पाई, कान्हा के अंचन पाई पाई। पिछी करी हो शाम हो, पिछी करी हो, पिछी करी हो शाम हो, पिछी करी हो मारो मारो, हाय हाय मारो मारो, हाय हाय मारो मारो हो शाम। पिछी करी हो मारो मारो हो शाम। पिछी करी हो शाम हो, पिछी करी हो, पिछी करी हो शाम हो, पिछी करी हो मारो मारो, हाय हाय मारो मारो, हाय हाय मारो मारो हो शाम। पिछी करी हो मारो मारो हो शाम। हाथ लगे कर सकियन संझा,
Thank you very much, Sintra Suku. And there's no doubting that our traditional music is one of the most energetic, most attractive music that we've ever heard, and we continue to promote it, preserve it, and salute all those who continue their mission to continue to bring this wonderful music to the world. Thank you so much, Sintra Suku and group. I always say that the survival of any culture is dependent upon the youth of tomorrow. Many of you might not be seeing it, but I saw one of the most beautiful things happening while that presentation was taking place. Just to the back, we have a lot of little children dressed in beautiful ethnic wear, and they were dancing to the folk music of Sintra Suku. I want to ask you to give the children a loud round of applause. Without doubt, they are the future, and this is the music we want them to continue with. So thank you so much to the children, and we encourage you to continue enjoying all the presentations on stage. Dance takes the spotlight, folk dance in particular, in the style of Kamsale. The song is from the state of Karnataka. It has elaborate dance moves with a lot of acrobatics. We now present to you the Nitya Sangam dance group.
ಮುಂಗೊಂಡಾದ ಮಾದೇವನವರು ಮುಂದಾಲ ಪೂಜೆಗೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ಹಣ್ಣು ಕಾಯಿ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಣಿಯ ಗಮಲು ಮಂಜುಗವಿದಾವೆ. ಬೆಟ್ಟಾದ ಮಾದೇವ ಬರುವಾಗ ಹುಟ್ಟುಗಲ್ಲು ಗುಡುಗುಟ್ಟಿದವೋ. ಹುಲಿಯ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ಮಾದೇವ ಬರುವ ಮಾಯಾ ನೋಡಯ್ಯ. ಕಾಣಿಕೆ ತಂದಿವುನಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಕಾಣೆನಲ್ಲೋ ಮಾದೇಶ್ವರನ. ಕಾಣಿಕೆ ನೀಡಿ ಧೂಪವ ಹಾಕಿ ಬೇಡುವೆ ಮಾದೇವನ. ಗಂಡುಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಲಿನ ಗದ್ದುಗೆಯೋ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ಹೆಂಡುಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಲಿನ ನಿದ್ದಾರಿಯೋ. ಎತ್ತಿದಾರು ದುಂಡು ಮಾದೇವನ ಗಂಡು ಹುಲಿಯ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ. ಕಾಡು ಪಾರುವಾಳ ನಕ್ಕಿ ಕನ್ನನವಲು ಮರಿದುಂಬಿಗಳು. ಲಾವಾಳ ನಕ್ಕಿ ಪಿಕ್ಕಿ ದುಂಡಯ್ಯನ ಕೂಗಿ ಕಾರುದಾವೆ. ಕೋಗಿಲ ಎದ್ದು ಕೊಂಬೆ ನೇರಿ ಕೂಗುತ್ತಾವೋ ಮಾದೇಶ್ವರನ. ರಾಗವೆತ್ತಿದ್ದುಂಡು ಮಾದೇವನ ಕರೆಯುತ್ತಾವೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ರೂಪವು ತಾನಂತೆ, ಶಿವ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ತಾನಿಹನಂತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲರಸುತ್ತ ಗುಡಿಗಳ ತಿರುಗುವ ಜನಗಳ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕೊಂದಂತೆ. ಕಣ್ಣಿಲ್ಲದವರಿಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣಂತೆ, ಶಿವ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣಾಗಿ ಹನಂತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರ ಜೀವಾದಿ ಮಾದಪ್ಪ ಬಣ್ಣ ಬಣ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಹನಂತೆ.
Shri
to the Nritya Sangam dancers for that energetic performance. To bring greetings, I now invite the Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, the Senator, the Honorable Randall Mitchell.
Thank you very much. Allow me to recognize, of course, my friend from the lower house, the Member of Parliament for Chaguanas West, Mr. Dinesh Rambali. I also acknowledge Senator the Honorable Dirup Timal, Independent Senator and President of the NCIC, Mr. Raju Sharma, Charge d'Affaires, Indian High Commission, Mr. Winston Dukaran, the feature speaker and former Member of Parliament, former Minister of Finance, Mr. Surajdev Mangaru, first Vice President, NCIC, all the artists and performers here tonight, members of the media, a special good evening. On behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts and the Government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, I extend warm and sincere greetings to our nation's East Indian community. It is my distinct pleasure to be here with you today on Indian Arrival Day as we commemorate the 178th anniversary of the arrival of our brothers and sisters from India. And I join you in reflecting on this year's theme, Yaatra, Jaaree, the journey continues. The arrival of our Indian brothers and sisters in 1845 through the indentureship system is one of the significant landmarks in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Our Indian brothers and sisters brought with them new and rich cultural expressions of song, dance, language, community building, cuisine, clothing, festivals, and religious observances, which have become infused in the tapestry of our lives. Festivals like Diwali, Eid, and Pagwa, the cathartic sounds of the tabla, and the energizing and soothing musical rhythms, the delicious taste of culinary delicacies are all Trinbago pleasures that testify to some of the ways in which the original Indian arrivals have permeated our culture. However, the Indian community introduced more than their song, dance, and dress, and cuisine. As children of the indentureship, we have contributed diligence, forward thinking, and entrepreneurship to our nation. Our social reality has been infused with the traditions of the Indo-Trinbagonian community, and now our twin island state can boast of a unique richness and diverse culture, which indeed is to our advantage and which always serves to unite us rather than divide us. Today we remember the sacrifices and contributions of our ancestors who arrived in Trinidad under difficult circumstances. We honor their journey, which was marked by resilience, determination, and a commitment to building a better future. And we recognize the ongoing journey of our nation to preserve and celebrate our diverse traditions, while also forging ahead towards new growth. The Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts recognizes the importance of our national days and the ways that they contribute to a sense of patriotism and shared commitment to national development. For this reason, the ministry continues to be a proud supporter of our national festivals and religious observances for many years. We see these occasions as critical aspects of our cultural expression, as well as unifiers of the national community. Regardless of ethnicity or religious belief, we celebrate each occasion with a deep sense of Trinbagonian pride. The government, through its cultural agreement signed with India, has provided the opportunity for Indo-Trinbagonians to connect with its roots. Over the years, we have seen nationals pursuing scholarships in India in a variety of subjects such as Hindi, dance, and music, thus allowing them to not only be fully immersed in the culture, but providing an opportunity for them to impart their knowledge to nationals through workshops and performances. This has contributed to improving the standard of the arts in Trinidad and Tobago. Additionally, most Indian goods are available locally, from clothing and furniture to exotic spices and prepackaged foods. So those unable to travel there can still truly experience India in their own homeland. Though Trinidad and Tobago's journey is far from over, let us continue with unwavering hope, perseverance, and dedication to building a brighter future for all. Our approach should mirror that of the pioneers who came here before us. As they triumphed over many challenges, so too must we do the same. As they came together to build strong communities and to preserve rich traditions, so too must we collaborate to reach higher heights. Let us come together to celebrate our past, our present, and our days ahead. Let us honor the sacrifices of our ancestors and the invaluable richness of our cultural heritage. The journey, ladies and gentlemen, indeed continues. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator the Honorable Randall Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, can you please join us center stage? I now invite the President of the National Council of Indian Culture, Mr. Deorup Timal, to present a token of our appreciation. We now continue with our program. I invite Vijay to tell us what's next.
Thank you very much, Devi ji. Shri Rana and Shrimati Suzanne Mohib, both are lecturers at the University of Trinidad and Tobago, also musical gurus in their own right, teaching and promoting culture throughout Trinidad and Tobago and the wider world. To do 3 ghazals, the first of which will be a duet. We now bring to you Shri Rana and Shrimati Suzanne Mohib.
उसने हाथ छोड़ दिया। बड़ा के प्यास मेरी उसने हाथ छोड़ दिया। वो कर रहा था मुलाकात जिंदगी की तरह, वो आशिना भी मिला हमसे अजनबी की तरह। किया है प्यार जिसे हमने जिंदगी की तरह, जिंदगी की तरह, हमने जिंदगी की तरह। सरकती जाए सीना आहिस्ता आहिस्ता, सरकती जाए सीना आहिस्ता आहिस्ता, निकलता रहा है आहिस्ता आहिस्ता, सरकती जाए है रुख से ना आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। जब होने लगे जब वो तो हमसे कर लिखा पर्दा, जब होने लगे जब वो तो हमसे कर लिया पर्दा, खयालत आए और शबा आहिस्ता आहिस्ता, निकलता रहा है आफ्ता आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। शब फुरकत का जगा हूँ फरिश्तों, अब तो सोने दो। शब फुरकत का जगा हूँ फरिश्तों, अब तो सोने दो सोने दो। सोने दो सोने दो सोने दो सोने दो सोने। शब फुरकत का जगा हूँ फरिश्तों, अब तो सोने दो। कभी फुर्सत में कर ले नहीं सा आहिस्ता आहिस्ता, निकलता आहिस्ता 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 सरकती जाने हैं रुक सी न आहिस्ता 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 सबको मालूम है मैं शराबी नहीं, फिर भी कोई पिलाए तो मैं क्या करूं। सबको मालूम है मैं शराबी नहीं, फिर भी कोई पिलाए तो मैं क्या करूं। सिर्फ एक बार नजरों से नजरें मिले, सिर्फ एक बार नजरों से नजरें मिले, और कसम टूट जाए तो मैं क्या करूं। सबको मालूम है मैं शराबी नहीं, फिर भी कोई पिलाए तो मैं क्या करूं। मुझको मैं कश समझते हैं सब बाधा कश, क्योंकि उनकी तरह लड़खड़ाता हूँ मैं। मुझको मैं कश समझते हैं सब बाधा कश, क्योंकि उनकी तरह लड़खड़ाता हूँ मैं। मेरी रग रग में नशा मोहब्बत का है, मेरी रग रग में नशा मोहब्बत का है, मेरी रग रग में नशा मोहब्बत का है। जो समझ में न आए तो मैं क्या करूं, जो समझ में न आए तो मैं क्या करूं। सिर्फ एक बार नजरों से नजरें मिले, सिर्फ एक बार नजरों से नजरें मिले, और कसम टूट जाए तो मैं क्या करूं। और कसम टूट जाए तो मैं क्या करूं। कैसी लत कैसी चाहत कहाँ की कथा, बेखुदी में है अनवर खुदी का नशा। कैसी लत कैसी चाहत कहाँ की कथा, बेखुदी में है अनवर खुदी का नशा। जिंदगी एक नशे के सिवा कुछ नहीं, जिंदगी एक नशे के सिवा कुछ नहीं, जिंदगी एक नशे के सिवा कुछ नहीं। तुमको पीना ना आए तो मैं क्या करूं, तुमको पीना ना जाए तो मैं क्या करूं। सिर्फ एक बार नजरों से नजरें मिले, 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 और कसम टूट जाए तो मैं क्या करूं। सबको मालूम है मैं शराबी नहीं, फिर भी कोई पिलाए तो मैं क्या करूं। फिर भी कोई पिलाए तो मैं क्या करूं। फिर भी कोई पिलाए तो मैं क्या करूं। Thank you.
Let's hear it once more for Sri Rana Mohib and his group. So remember, we are also streaming live on our NCIC's YouTube channel, where you can see our month of activities. Remember, this is deemed Indian Heritage Month, and our theme this year is Yaatra, Jaaree. The journey continues. Over the month of May, we had numerous activities, which included our night of Shastriya Sangeet, a night of local classical and traditional Chutney, our youths in concert, our night of Ghazals and Geets, and our breakfast seminar, which was held on the 6th of May. We also had book launches by author Veronica Rajaram and Beyond Indentureship, Indo-Trinidadian Entrepreneurs by Mr. Hemraj Ramdat, who's also a member of the NCIC. Remember, you can see all these things on our YouTube channel. Be sure to check it out. Even this program that we have right now, you can look back at it. We must also say thank you to some of the people who may make this evening possible. Krishna Sounds, All Events Lighting, Extra Foods Limited, The Little Store, Central Exotic Orchids. Continuing with the entertainment. Performing to Boom Pari. This group needs no introduction. Their name says it all. With choreography by the dance maestro himself, Mr. Michael Salikram, let's welcome the Shiv Shakti Dance Company.
चांद भी है आया झूमने, आया मस्ती में गोल गोल घूमने की। आज रंझट है, रंगत है, सखियों की संगत है, मन में हरख न मायो जल से की आई रात। रंगीला मारा नाच, रंगीला मारा नाच, सवेरों गाए साथ में, रंगीला मारा नाच। जलसे की आई रात रे रंगीला मारा नाच सनेड़ों का साथ में रंगीला मारा नाच हरी होली बूम पड़ी संगत है मन में हरख है न मायो जलसे की आई रात रे रंगीला मारा नाच रंगीला मारा नाच रंगीला मारा नाच सनेड़ों का साथ में रंगीला मारा नाच
Thank you once again to the Shiv Shakti School of Dance. Our next set of performers are going to grace our stage with talent. As a Trinidadian-born musician, Rishi Gayadeen has performed locally, regionally, and internationally. Rishi continues to inspire with his outstanding musical capabilities as he continues to create his legacy through hard work, determination, and dedication, along with the other members of RG the Band. Following RG the Band, we have Caitlin Sultan, who is 9 years of age and has been performing for the past 3 years. She won second place in both the Mahatma Gandhi Charitable Organization's Youth Champ as well as the school's intellectual Chutney Monarch competition. Most recently, she was also crowned Queen of Chutney Soca Monarch 2023. She will be performing some of her most recent and popular songs for us. Following Caitlin, we also have our third performer, Prakash Ramcharan, who has always had a passion for singing ever since he was a child. He was a former finalist of the NCIC Youth Champ competition and frontline vocalist for the band, the Tech Gayatoons. I now invite Rishi Gayadeen and RG the Band to perform for us.
Namaste, Sitaram, Assalamu alaikum everyone. for Indian Arrival Day. So I want to see plenty of people dancing and enjoying themselves for this one.
Let's hear it once more for the very talented Caitlin Sultan. I think you all can do better than that. And now it gives me great pleasure to invite on stage to bring greetings Member of Parliament for Chaguanas West, Mr. Dinesh Rambali.
Sitaram, and good evening to everyone. Our Minister of Tourism and Culture, my good friend, the Honorable Senator, the Honorable Randall Mitchell, our High Commissioner to India, His Excellency Sri Raju Sharma, or his Dharampatni, Independent Senator Mr. Derup Timal, also President of the NCIC, Mr. Surajdev Mongru, First Vice President of the National Council of Indian Culture, all of you cherished guests and attendees, and of course this evening our feature speaker, a true patriot, Mr. Winston Dukaran, esteemed and former MP for Chaguanas. I wish to say that, it is my pleasure to join him here this evening. And before I get started, I want to let you all know that, I saw young Caitlin here, who was the last performer, along with Rishi Gayadin and his band. And it is truly something really wonderful that is taking place in our society when we can see our youths perform in this manner. And the message of her first song, "Why Not Let Us Come and Unite." And this is something that our society needs now more than ever. And really, that is the theme which I would want to dwell upon this evening. So as I start, I want to thank the National Council of Indian Culture for the opportunity to bring Indian Arrival Day greetings as we commemorate the 178th anniversary of the arrival of our East Indian ancestors to this land. I wish to say a few words this evening about the contribution of the East Indians and their invaluable contribution to nation building. Last year I was honored by the NCIC to be the feature speaker, and I spoke about the contribution of our ancestors and how it is we have all become trained Begonians and we have all assisted in defining patriotism. This history that we talk about is part of my own history. My paternal grandfather and maternal great-grandfather came from India. Their struggles and those of the other indentured laborers still resonate within me. It is time that we in Trinidad and Tobago honor that struggle. It is only by keeping their stories alive that we can truly appreciate the fires from which we as a people have been forged. During the indentureship period, when many Indian immigrants came to Trinidad, India was plagued by repeated famines. People were forced to seek economic opportunities just to survive. And many of our forefathers and mothers were promised a bright future. Yet, upon reaching the depot where they were housed for weeks before embarking on a ship across the Kalapani, what we usually call in English the dark oceanic waters, and into Trinidad, the full horror of what they had gotten themselves into became evident. The inhumane conditions they faced, such as the jostling for physical space and the inability to have privacy, made many of these migrants contemplate and even attempt suicide. Female immigrants were particularly disrespected, with male recruiters examining their bodies. This was just the beginning of their journey at the depot. One can only imagine what they anticipated would happen when they embarked on the ship, and more so in that far away land called Trinidad or Trinidad. By all accounts, their future must have seemed bleak. And upon arriving in Trinidad, these immigrants faced an identity crisis. Were they Indians, Trinidadians, or both? And as they searched for answers to the question, "Who am I now?" they were confronted by the same crisis of identity that all forebears had to face. However, as time passed, they decided to create a small community where they could keep their cultural traditions alive. They practiced their religions and maintained their way of life against the backdrop of colonial oppression. Eventually, they embraced Trinidad as their new motherland, and it became the source of their economic well-being. Over the years, integration intensified, and today we can proudly see the strides that our ancestors have made by the descendants of those brave immigrants. We celebrate right on this venue festivals such as Eid, Diwali, Corpus Christi, and Christmas, each with its own national significance. We have several denominational primary schools and secondary schools in this country. We are no longer deemed illegitimate by birth. All marriages are properly recognized by law. We have Indian leaders having occupied the highest offices of this nation. Winston Dukaran is case on point, and even receiving the nation's highest awards. If our ancestors had a chance to glimpse into what would be their future, which is our present, they would no doubt be extremely proud to see the strides that their descendants have made, all because of the initial sacrifices they made. But I hasten to add that our ancestors did not have access to the expanse of technology that we have nowadays. They did not have computers nor smartphones. They had no internet. They traveled without vehicles and painstakingly walked miles without footwear to meet each other with a common goal in mind. They united in purpose and dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, the ideal way to honor each and every one of our forefathers is to build upon the platform they laid for us and ensure that we leave something greater for our children than what our ancestors left for us. They would certainly be honored in our own efforts in preserving their cultural and religious traditions, which they defended against the colonizing wind that was blowing against them. And this brings me to the unity which they promoted. Ladies and gentlemen, unity is something that every right-thinking citizen and politician must aspire for. We can certainly take an example from their lives. They became united for the sake of keeping traditions alive, singing and praying together, celebrating festivals, reading the holy books, and preserving religious customs for their children and grandchildren. Their unity was indeed their strength. Together they fought for their space to practice their culture and religions freely. They even fought for their physical space to live peacefully. They all toiled in the fields, sweating profusely, shedding tears and blood in this soil. And as the soil yielded to them, they also yielded to it, as a child yields to its mother. Today, I pay tribute to all ancestors, whether East Indians, Africans, and the many other races which populate our beloved country. I pay tribute to all. We, their descendants, are Trinidadians and Tobagonians. We say Trinbagonians. This is our present, unreserved identity, which we recognize was carved out of their history. And I dare say that the majority of us are content within ourselves. We sing the national anthem, feel pride when we see our flag flying on the international world stage. When we bounce up a Trinbagonian in a foreign country, we cheer on our cricketers, footballers, our medalists. But it is not enough, ladies and gentlemen. And this is where we must muster up all of our ancestors' strength, determination, fortitude, grit, passion, and the unity of purpose which flowed in their blood must now be summoned through our veins to overcome the modern day obstacles which face us, particularly crime. We must rid our country of tribalism, divide and rule strategies, racism, and oppression of any form and or fashion. So I say to you as I conclude, we must unite the spirit and will of our ancestors in our commitment to protect our women and children, and nowadays especially our children, from the criminals that are holding them hostage in so many ways. When we deliver them to a place of safety and respect, where their spirits can flourish and their aspirations can soar, then we can truly say that we have honored our ancestors. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the message I would like to leave with everyone today. While we recognize that our ancestors undertook the most crucial part of the journey to bringing us here today, our lives must be an expression of gratitude to their contribution. So let us emulate their dreams in which people can thrive in safety, in which our aspirations can take shape, and our children can travel a road without limits, where each port of call greets them without old prejudice and censure, and where the legacy that they have planted 178 years ago can finally shine against the darkest skies. Happy Indian Arrival Day 2023. Thank you. Dhanyavadaha.
I'd like to ask you to join us center stage, please. And I'd like to invite Ms. Nirmala Ramsaran, the treasurer of the NCIC, to make the presentation. Thank you, MP, and thank you, Nirmala. The entertainment continues. Performing Chutney Party by Ruplal G. This dance is led by the talented Brian Mungru. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Khal Nayak Academy of Dance.
Tonight I in the mood to party. Oh yeah. I feeling I in the mood to party. Jam the music please, Mr. DJ. Yeah, yeah. We want to dance and break away. Are you ready? The party hot, the party hot, the party hot, hot, hot. The party hot, the party hot, the party. So happy, I'm feeling so nice, jamming in this party just the other night. I'm feeling so happy, I'm feeling so nice, jamming in this party make me feel so right. Hey. Yes, the party ram up, oh, yes, the party jam. Everybody jumping and raising their hand. The party hot, the party hot, the party hot, hot, hot. Nacho, 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 nacho. Ilaya abandana bahana chorela. Nacho, nacho re nacho rela. Ilaya abandana bahana chorela. Jump the thing now. Hey, take it, take it, take it, no, take it. The party on fire, boiling all over. All I want is soca to cool this fever. Yeah. The party on fire, boiling all over. All I want is soca to cool this fever. I don't want no water that can cool me down. Leave me, let me jump up, wave and carry on. The party hot, the party hot, the party hot, hot, hot. Nacho, nacho re nacho re la. Ilaya abandana bahana chorela. Nacho, nacho re nacho re la. Ilaya abandana bahana chorela. Hey, let the music play, let it play. Time to break away, break away. I don't care what I say. It's back and up today. Put your hands in the air, behave like you don't care. Hands in the air, flags in the air, jump and break away. Party swinging, back and out for so. The way how they're betting, they don't want to go. song. Woman say you're crazy, it's better morning come. The party hot, the party hot, the party hot, hot. Nacho, nacho re la. Ilaya apan banaba, nacho re la. Nacho, nacho re la. Ilaya apan banaba, nacho re la. Nacho, nacho re la. Ilaya apan banaba, nacho re la. Let me see the hands in the air. Let me see the flags in the air. Let me see the hands in the air. Let me see the flags in the air. Hands in the air, flags in the air, rags in the air. Hands in the air, flags in the air, jump and break away.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest varieties, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra.
Mr. Winston Dukaran. Winston Chandraban Dukaran, Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, is a Trinidadian and Tobagonian economist and former politician as well as international public official. Mr. Dukaran is currently the Secretary General of the EUCLID, an intergovernmental institution of higher learning. He previously served as political leader of the Congress of the People, Central Bank Governor, Minister of Finance, and Minister of Foreign Affairs. A graduate of the University of Manitoba and London, the London School of Economics, Mr. Dukaran spent some 15 years as a lecturer at the Department of Economics at the University of the West Indies. In 1981, he successfully contested the constituency of Chaguanas as a candidate of the United Labour Front, and in 1986, when the ULF merged with other parties to form the National Alliance for Reconstruction, NAR, he again successfully contested the constituency of Chaguanas. Mr. Dukaran was made a cabinet member and he was appointed Minister of Planning and Mobilization. Mr. Dukaran later became deputy political leader of the NAR, was a senior member of the government and acted on several occasions as the Prime Minister, most notably during the attempted coup of 1990 by the Jamaat al-Muslimin. After Mr. Dukaran lost his seat in the 1991 elections, he later became senior economist at the United Nations Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean. He was also a member of the executive board of the Inter-American Development Bank and also governor of the Caribbean Development Bank. In July 1997, he was appointed as governor of the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago and held that post till 2002. Later that year, he joined the United National Congress and won the St. Augustine constituency. In October 2005, he succeeded Basdeo Pandey as political leader of the United National Congress after being nominated by Pandey unopposed. He would also later, from his own political party, the Congress of the People, COP, which in coalition with his former party contested and won the May 2010 snap elections. Mr. Dukaran was appointed Minister of Finance in 2010 for the New People's Partnership Coalition government and began a series of programs designed to jumpstart the stagnant economy. In June 2012, Mr. Dukaran was appointed Minister of Foreign Affairs, a portfolio he held until June 2015. After his political career, Mr. Dukaran became a professor of practice at the University of the West Indies and a consultant for international organizations. He became Under-Secretary General of EUCLID University in 2019 and was appointed as Secretary General in 2020 July. Mr. Dukaran has authored several publications and received many prestigious awards from various institutions. He was awarded the prestigious Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award in 2017 by the President of India. This is the highest Indian award for non-resident Indians for exceptional and meritorious contribution for their chosen field. For our feature address, we now present to you Mr. Winston Dukaran.
I must first of all thank my friend for doing so much research. And I will commend that to my students of the future. It is a privilege to be here. And I was indeed well positioned in the seating for this occasion between two energetic parliamentarians, one of whom was in the upper house, and a minister, Mr. Randall Mitchell, and the other, as you heard, was the Member of Parliament for Chaguanas, Mr. Ambali, who paid tribute to my own stewardship when I started my political life, was right here in Felicity in Chaguanas. So I say to both of them, it was a privilege to sit in the middle and to hear them talk about whether the upper house was better than the lower house. And it was a memory that was brought home by the person who introduced me here today. Your Excellency, Mr. Raju Sharma from the Indian High Commission, you have always brought a sense of comfort in whenever you speak. I also see in our midst here today our ambassador, who was the ambassador of Trinidad and Tobago to India and to China, Mr. Chandradat Singh. I haven't seen him for some time, and I say welcome, Mr. Chandradat Singh. But today is a special day for many reasons, because you tend to meet in this meeting place that has met for all these years. Friends, families, associates, and I must acknowledge a friendship of someone who I had met maybe 40 years ago, Mr. Ramnaresh Dwarka, as a student at the Southern Polytechnic, and it was a great privilege to meet him here today, Mr. Dwarka. Thank you very much for making yourself known to me today. Let me start, first of all, by saying what a pleasure it is to have been invited to bring remarks on this Indian Arrival Day by Mr. Dirup Timal, the current president of the NCIC and our independent senator. I first met him in India when I had the distinct honor to receive the Pravasi Award. And he came up to me. At that time, I did not know him. And he expressed his gratitude and appreciation that that had happened. I say to you now, thank you, because I didn't do it properly at that time. But we are here for Indian Arrival Day, and there's a long history to it, if you have heard, from some of those who spoke and those who did not speak. But I want to say a special word of acknowledgement to someone in my time who fought courageously for the proclamation of Indian Arrival Day as a national holiday. That person is Mr. Trevor Sudama, and I acknowledge him today for his efforts. I'm also very thankful for the friendship of Mr. Surajdev Mangru and his entire executive over the years. Ever since we held the first Diwali Nagar function in 1986 in Mid-Center Mall in Chaguanas, I note the contribution of the late Mr. Ramjas Sriram for his contribution at that time to make that possible. I was then the Member of Parliament for Chaguanas, as Didinat mentioned. But let me conclude these little open remarks by saying a special words of gratitude to the past president of the National Council of Indian Culture, Pandit Devkinandan Sharma, for his most distinguished service to our nation as he continues his life work as a spiritual leader and teacher of the Hindu community of Trinidad and Tobago. We salute Pandit Devkinandan Sharma today, as we have done over the years. In preparing to be here today, I began to read up all that was said about Indian Arrival Day at this time. And I saw two young women beautifully speaking in an article that was entitled, "The Strength of Our Ancestral Legacy." One such person was Wahida Sahid, and she captured her feelings in these words. As a fourth-generation Indian descendant, Indian Arrival Day represents a day of pride. I am free to practice Islam. I am free to vote. And in that same article, another young lady, Ria Buru, echoed her thoughts eloquently when she said, "Indian Arrival Day for me is an opportunity to conquer fear." From the granddaughter of an indentured laborer. These words are deep in meaning. And it all came from a political journey for freedom. We know the history. In modern times, that freedom was given political expression. In 1947, it was not only the freedom of India, it soon spread to all places that was called the British Empire, in Asia, in Africa, and in the Caribbean. Today, Mohandas Gandhi is a symbol of that freedom worldwide, followed by other great political leaders like Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King. The freedom I speak about is about the ability to choose one's own destiny. So 178 years ago, all forefathers took their Jahaji bundle and sailed across the seas. They met others from Africa who were also in the midst of their own journey for freedom. And in the land where the Americans live, Europeans ruled, and the people from China and the Middle East and everywhere chose to find their own destiny. In that Jahaji bundle, there was courage, compassion, and confidence. I remember in the height of my political controversial days, I was told, "Take your Jahaji bundle and walk." So I decided to title my talk to you here today, "Take up your Jahaji bundle and walk to choose one's own destiny." As an academic, I learned a lot from many who have studied this subject. And I remember in the early period of indentureship, some academics referred to it, and I believe Mr. Ambali made a reference to it here today as well, as the search for identity. I too, not schooled in this subject at all, joined Bridget Brereton and edited a book on this theme. Today, I realize it was not a search for identity. Our forefathers came with an identity expressed in their religions, in their culture, and even in their public values and their community governance. We know as we grew up about the panchayat form of government. Perhaps it was that identity that kept the vast and diverse nations of India together, in spite of the multiple cleavages and conflicts over their journey. The Indian identity then was never at stake. What was at stake then and now is a language of progress. Reference was made to Hemraj Ramdatt's new book, Beyond Indentureship, Indo-Trinidadian Entrepreneurs, described by one of our most eminent scholars who is present here today, with Professor Brinsley Samaru, as a story of resilience which fills a gap in Indo-Caribbean narrative. I read with great pride the comments of an international journalist who is also here today, Parash Ramota, in an article and a message which was entitled, Indian Diaspora Needs Psychological and Political Stimulus, and called for a rebranding of our portfolio to promote national development and nation building to greater heights than when they came here. This language of progress was also so vividly expressed in a souvenir brochure of the Abdul Aziz Trust from Dow Village. By words and means, we are again shifting grounds. At the time of our own independence in 1962, our destiny depended on the language of progress in our complex pathway to nationhood. Nationhood has eluded us. Our leaders, instead of rising to the higher level of freedom, surrendered to the politics of survival. Choosing one's own destiny for the leaders meant choosing one's own political survival, remaining in our comfort zone and hoping a nation will happen on its own. What is at stake is a language of progress in the public values that will govern us and in the character of the nation that will inspire us. So in the year 2023, as we get closer to 200 years since the fatal Razak docked in Trinidad, we must again refresh our ability to choose our own destiny, where our destiny is rooted in our national cultures, where freedom rises to a higher level of taking care of the aspirations of all races and religions, who by their forces of history and geography have come to make this their homeland. Mr. Rambali spoke to that as he came from the podium and he sat next to me. I said to him, what is missing is the vehicle. Yes, there will be problems, and there are problems. But even now, the problems are more acute than in prior times. But as Gandhi responded to a reporter in his time, when asked, why would you want to govern India, a country with so many problems in all walks of life? He quietly responded to the English reporter. Yes, there are problems. But from now on, they will be our problems, not the British. As the journey continues, the problems in our society are our problems. And the language of progress must take precedence over despair and discontent. Yes, we must keep our democratic freedoms alive, and the nation must celebrate that freedom together, as we did in the events of 1990. A triumph over the darkness of a violent attack in Parliament, the seat of our democracy. But as I reflect, that victory over 100 years earlier was expressed in perhaps the most inspiring poem ever written. A poem so powerful that grown men like best-selling authors, poets laureates, eminent figures in arts and sciences and politics were moved to tears. In his poem entitled, "Let My Country Awake," Rabindranath Tagore saw the world trembled as he inspired the politics ahead of him. He was accorded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. Then it was proclaimed that it was a powerful call to action and a declaration of belief in achievable change. It is a call for a higher level of freedom that resonates loudly today in our own country. How could a mere poem have such gigantic effects? It was really a poem capturing a moment in history. The artists, like the Calypsonians in our country, the Black Stallion and many others, did so often for us. That moment of history always mirrors the political insights of the time. For the life of a nation is invariably shaped by its politics. It has been so for all times, and in all places, and in all versions of expressions, in song and music, in dance, in drama, and in written word. And today, we had perhaps one of the best displays of our songs or music or dance or drama that we have ever had on a Diwali celebration, on an Arrival Day celebration. So yes, the journey continues. Inevitable change is about politics. Politics is noble. The practice of politics must also be noble. And politics must guide our destiny, not by making us the victim of the politics, but by shaking and shaping it, by awakening again the search for higher freedom, as it did in 1845, when this particular journey began. In that journey, we know that progress will not have come without sacrifice. As we today reap the rewards of our parents' sacrifices, it's now time for us to rumble again by expressing our gratitude. Tagore's immortal poetic words are a powerful inspiration. As he concluded, "Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depths of truth, where the mind is led forward into everlasting thought and action. So as I close this opportunity granted to me by our dear Senator and Chairman of the NCIC, I refer to these words which were put to pen over 100 years ago, for they capture the deep inner yearnings of our times and in our place, and we owe it to our young people who have performed here today and who lived in our midst. So as the journey continues, as the sacrifices of years gone by take root, let there be the powerful energy of gratitude. Let us take up a Jahaji bundle and walk with pride, courage, and confidence to shake up our politics, to shape our destiny, and to dirty our hands in the public arena of all those who choose to call this land our home. As our own political journey takes a new turn, we must use this power of gratitude to choose our own destiny. We must therefore take up our Jahaji bundle and walk to shape a new destiny in political terms for our country, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much to our feature speaker for our feature address, Mr. Winston Dukaran. And we would now like to invite him to center stage. Also, we would like to request Senator the Honorable Derup Timal, President of the National Council of Indian Culture, to present our feature speaker, Mr. Winston Dukaran, with a token of appreciation on behalf of the NCIC. Thank you very much to our President and also the President of the Youth Arm. We'll now continue with the program. We have some exciting things lined up, and to tell us a little bit more, we have Lian Duki.
Thank you, Vijay. This group was founded in 2019. They performed at many events. They are a familiar face at the CPL T20 cricket matches. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Republic Bank Extraordinaire Tassa Group.
Let's hear it once more for the Republic Bank Extraordinaire Tassa Group. Continuing with the entertainment, we have for you RG the Band. You saw them earlier, but now we have a lot more in store for you. To entertain us, we have the youthful and talented Prakash Ramcharan, the 2022 winner of Sangeet Pradarshan, Neera Haripasad, the talented Abhijit Ankatesu, the Nightingale Saraswati Maharaj, and the very versatile Mukesh Kolai. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome RG the Band.
First of all, happy Indian arrival day to each and every one. तुझसे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी हैरान हूँ मैं हो हैरान हूँ मैं तेरे मासूम सवालों से परेशान हूँ मैं ओ परेशान हूँ मैं तुझसे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी हैरान हूँ मैं ओ हैरान हूँ मैं जीने के लिए सोचा ही नहीं दर्द संभालने होंगे ओ जीने के लिए सोचा ही नहीं दर्द संभालने होंगे मुस्कुराए तो मुस्कुराने के कर्ज उतारने होंगे मुस्कुराओ कभी तो लगता है जैसे होठों पे कर्ज रखा है तुझसे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी हैरान हूँ मैं ओ हैरान हूँ मैं आज अगर बर आई है बूंद बरस जाएगी ओ आज अगर बर आई है बूंद बरस जाएगी कल क्या पता इनके लिए आके तरस जाएंगी जाने कब गुम हुआ कहाँ खोया एक आंसू छुपा के रखा था तुझसे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी हैरान हूँ मैं ओ हैरान हूँ मैं तेरे मासूम सवालों से परेशान हूँ मैं ओ परेशान हूँ मैं ओ परेशान हूँ मैं ओ परेशान हूँ मैं you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This next song of mine is one of my personal favorites of all time. It's a Kishore Kumar song, so hope you guys enjoy it.
खिलते हैं गुल यहाँ खिलते हैं गुल यहाँ खिल के बिखरने को खिलते हैं गुल यहाँ खिल के बिछड़ने को मिलते हैं दिल यहाँ मिल के बिछड़ने को खिलते हैं गुल यहाँ कल रहे ना रहे मौसम ये प्यार का कल रुके ना रुके ओला बहार का कल रहे ना रहे मौसम ये प्यार का कल रुके ना रुके ओला पहाड़ का चार पल मिले जो आज प्यार में गुजार दे खिलते हैं गुल यहाँ खिल के बिखरने को मिलते हैं दिल यहाँ मिल के बिछड़ने को खिलते हैं गुल यहाँ झीलों के होठों पर मेघों का राग है फूलों के सीने में ठंडी ठंडी आग है झीलों के होठों पर मेघों का राग है फूलों के सीने में ठंडी ठंडी आग है दिल की आईने में तू ये समा उतार दे खिलते हैं गुल यहाँ खिल के बिखरने को मिलते हैं दिल यहाँ मिल के बिछड़ने को खिलते हैं गुल यहाँ खिल के बिखरने को खिलते हैं गुल यहाँ Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
कहीं लगता नहीं हम क्या करें अब ये जाने वफा हम क्या करें, ये दिल तुम बिन कहीं लगता नहीं, हम क्या करें। किसी के दिल में बस के दिल को तड़पाना नहीं अच्छा, किसी के दिल में बस के दिल को तड़पाना नहीं अच्छा, निगाहों को झलक दे देगी चुप जाना नहीं अच्छा, उम्मीदों के किले गुलशन को जुल्फाना नहीं अच्छा, हमें तुम बिन कहीं जजता नहीं, हम क्या करें। तुम्हें कह दो अब ये जाने वफा हम क्या करें, ये दिल तुम बिन कहीं लगता नहीं, हम क्या करें। संगीन पे दर पर माता सो गए अमर बलिदान जो शहीद हुए उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी खून से लथपथ गाया फिर भी बंदूक उतारी 10-10 को एक ने मारा फिर गिर गए होश गंवाए जब अंत समय आया तो जब अंत समय आया तो कह गए कि अब मर गए खुश रहना देश के प्यारों खुश रहना देश के प्यारों अब हम तो सफर करते अब हम तो सफर करते क्या लोग थे वो दीवाने क्या लोग थे वो अभिमानी जो शहीद हुए उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी भूल ना जाओ उनको किसी कहे कहानी जो शहीद हुए उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी जय हिंद की सेना जय हिंद की सेना जय हिंद जय हिंद जय हिंद थैंक यू
Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
चाहूंगा मैं तुझे सांझ सवेरे फिर भी कभी अब नाम को तेरे आवाज मैं न दूंगा आवाज मैं न दूंगा चाहूंगा मैं तुझे सांझ सवेरे फिर भी कभी अब नाम को तेरे आवाज मैं न दूंगा आवाज मैं न दूंगा चाहूंगा मैं तुझे साँझ सवेरे देख मुझे सब है पता सुनता है तू मन की सदा देख मुझे सब है पता सुनता है तू मन की सदा मितवा मेरे यार तुझको बार बार आवाज़ मैं न दूंगा आवाज़ मैं न दूंगा चाहूँगा मैं तुझे साँझ सवेरे दर्द भी तू चैन भी तू दर्स भी तू नैन भी तू दर्द भी तू चैन भी तू दर्स भी तू नैन भी तू मितवा मेरे यार तुझको बार बार आवाज़ मैं न दूंगा आवाज़ मैं न दूंगा चाहूँगा मैं तुझे साँझ सवेरे फिर भी कभी अब नाम को तेरे आवाज़ मैं न दूंगा आवाज़ मैं न दूंगा आवाज़ मैं न दूंगा आवाज़ मैं न दूंगा Thank you. For my second song here, it's a very popular Arjit Singh selection, and I'll leave the name in the song itself. I do hope you all enjoy. मुझको इतना बताए कोई कैसे तुझसे दिल ना लगाए कोई रब्बा ने तुझको बनाने में कर दी है उसकी खाली तिजोरियाँ काजल की सी केसरिया तेरा इश्क है पिया रंग जाऊं जो मैं हाथ लगाऊं दिन बीते सारा तेरी फिक्र में रंग सारी तेरी खैर मनाऊं केसरिया तेरा इश्क है पिया रंग जाऊं जो मैं हाथ लगाऊं दिन बीते सारा तेरी फिक्र में रंग सारी तेरी खैर मनाऊं केसरिया तेरा इश्क है पिया इश्क है पिया केसरिया तेरा इश्क है पिया इश्क है पिया केसरिया इश्क है पिया रंग जाऊं जो मैं हाथ लगाऊं Thank you.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
मेरी आवाज़ चुनी la 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 la. Thank you. That song was especially for Mr. Mangru. मद भरी ये हवाएं मद भरी ये हवाएं पास मुझको ये बुलाए मत भरी ये हवाएं पास आए नाम लेकर मुझको ये बुलाए मत भरी ये हवाएं
Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
मेरे मितवा आजा तुझको पुकारे मेरे गीत रे, मेरे गीत रे ओ मेरे मितवा, मेरे मीत रे। आजा तुझको पुकारे मेरे गीत रे, मेरे गीत रे ओ मेरे मितवा। तरसेगी कब तक प्यासी नजरिया, तरसेगी कब तक प्यासी नजरिया, बरसेगी कब मेरे आंगन बदरिया। छोड़ के आजा, तोड़ के आजा, दुनिया की हर रीत रे। आजा तुझको पुकारे मेरे गीत रे, मेरे गीत रे ओ मेरे मितवा। न जानू तेरा देश न जानू, नाम न जानू तेरा देश न जानू, कैसे मैं भेजूं संदेश न जानू। ये फूलों की ये झूलों की रुत न जाए पीत रे। आजा तुझको पुकारे मेरे गीत रे, मेरे गीत रे ओ मेरे मितवा, मेरे मीत रे। आजा तुझको पुकारे मेरे गीत रे, मेरे गीत रे ओ मेरे मितवा।
Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a round of applause for the band on stage. RG the band. Let's hear a round of applause.
गोरे गोरे चांद से मुख पर काली काली आंखें हैं। गोरे गोरे चांद से मुख पर काली काली आंखें हैं। देख के जिनको नींद उड़ जाए वो मतवाली आंखें हैं। मुँह से पल्ला क्या सरकाना, मुँह से पल्ला क्या सरकाना। इस बादल में बिजली है, दूर ही रहना, दूर ही रहना, दूर ही रहना। इनसे कयामत खाने वाली आंखें हैं। गोरे गोरे चांद से मुख पर काली काली आंखें हैं गोरे गोरे। बेजिन के अंधेर है सब कुछ, बेजिन के अंधेर है सब कुछ, ऐसी बात है इनमें क्या। आंखें 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 सब है बराबर, कौन निराली आंखें हैं गोरे गोरे। चांद से मुख पर काली काली आंखें हैं, देख के दिन को नींद उड़ जाए वो मत वाली आंखें हैं गोरे गोरे।
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Mukesh Kulai. That last item, anybody remember, taken from the movie Anita, Manoj Kumar and Sadhna. I have a small assignment now, and that is to express words of appreciation. There were so many people who have contributed to the success of this month's celebration, but it will be too numerous to mention. Firstly, I would like to thank the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, and of course the Honorable Minister for gracing us with his presence here today. The MP for Chaguanas West, Dinesh Rambali, Sri Raju Sharma, our feature speaker for this evening, Mr. Winston Dukaran, and some of our corporate sponsors, Extra Foods Limited, The Little Store, Central Orchids Limited. I want to thank Mr. Yasin Rahman for his contribution. Sankhya Television, Mr. Omkar and team, thank you so much. And of course, the big man, the man himself, RJ the band, led by Rishi Gayadin. Superb musicians. Yes, they really deserve a rusty round of applause. Come, let me hear it for them. Our sound engineer, Mr. Krishna Narayan Singh, Krishna Sounds, all events lighting. Our technical support team, Mr. Sean Ramjit, Mr. Yasin Rahman, all our artists, vocalists, dance group, our presenters, Lian Dayan Duki, Ms. Devi Ramnath, and Vijay Ramkisoon. Fantastic job, guys. To the various media houses who covered the event, thank you so much. And to you, our distinguished audience, I would like to share something with you. We are celebrating our 170th anniversary. Well, it comes to an end today. On the 5th of May, that's not too long ago, Guyana celebrated their Indian arrival, and on the 10th of May, Jamaica celebrated their 170th anniversary. And our brothers and sisters in Suriname, this coming weekend, they'll be celebrating their 150th anniversary. And some of the older folks would know, when we celebrated our 150th anniversary, the former president of India at the time, he was the president, Sri Shankar Dayal Sharmaji, came right here, these premises, and celebrated with us. This time, we have the president of India who will be joining the Surinamese on the 4th to celebrate. And we are taking artists like the Chatak Foods, Shooting Stars, Tassa Group, Devashish Ramdat, Woodland Dance Academy. They're all journeying to perform. As I say, Yaatra Jaaree rehne chahiye. The journey must continue. Happy Indian arrival here, my dear brothers and sisters. To bring the curtains down on today's presentation, I invite to do a dance taken from the movie Dawn. You all remember that movie, Amitabh Bachchan and Zina Taman. K.K. Pand Banana Sawala. Let's welcome now the closing item, the Shiv Shakti dance group. Please, let's hear it for Shiv Shakti. Thank you. Have a wonderful and blessed day.
अरे तुम काका बताई भैया हमरा हाल का है। बता दे। निकले थे हम हलवा खाने, मुंह ही जल गया है। का तुम का बताई, अब का समझाई, बड़ी दुर्घटना है, मुश्किल बचना है। चला ऐसा चक्कर उठ ऐसी आंधी, बड़ी हमका करनी, बड़ी कूदा फांदी, बड़ी लंबी चौड़ी हुई भागा दौड़ी। दिन रात जो हमने जाग जाग की ऐसी भागम भाग कि हम कभी आ गए, कभी हुआ गए, कभी आ गए, कभी हुआ गए, कभी इधर भगे, कभी उधर भगे। फिर तुमने दिया ये पान तो आई हमारी जान में जान, तो आई हमारी जान में जान, तो आई हमारी जान में जान। खाई के पान बनारस वाला, खाई के पान बनारस वाला, खुली जाए बंद अकल का ताला। फिर तो ऐसा करे धमाल, सीधी कर दे सबकी चाल। हो छोरा, हो छोरा, हो छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला, हो छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला। अरे राम दुहाई कैसे चक्कर में पड़ गया, हाय हाय हाय। कहाँ जान फसाई, मैं तो सूली पे चढ़ गया, हाय हाय। कैसा सीधा सादा है, कैसा भोला भाला, अरे कैसा सीधा सादा मैं कैसा भोला भाला। जाने कौन घड़ी में पड़ गया पढ़े लिखों से पाला। मीठी छुरी से हुआ हला, छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला, छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला। नवेली बड़ी अलबेली करे अटकेली, उसकी बड़ी है धूम है ऐसी मन भावन। सब देखें उसको पलट पलट और घूम घूम। वो नगर नगर जाए टकर टकर, और अंग अंग में ज्योति चमके जगर जगर। सुंदर बाला पलकों में लिए एक सपन लोक, अधरों में लिए यौवन हाला। इठलाती है बल खाती है तन का चंदन, वो झलक झलक झलकाती है। वो नैन द्वार से तन में आके मन में ज्वाला जगाती है। वो चंद्रमुखी है, वो मृगनैनी है, वो चंद्रमुखी है, वो मृगनैनी है, वो रूपवती है, वो मधुमती है। धिन ताक धिन ताक धिन ताक। एक कन्याकुमारी हमारी सूरत पे मर गई, हाय हाय हाय। एक मीठी कटारी हमरे दिल में उतर गई, हाय हाय। कैसी गोरी गोरी तीखी तीखी छोरी बाबा, अरे कैसी गोरी गोरी वो तीखी तीखी छोरी। करके चोरा चोरी कर गई हमरे दिल की चोरी। मिली छोरी तो हुआ निहार, छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला, हो छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला। पान बनारस वाला, खुली जाए बंद अकल का ताला। खाई के पान बनारस छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला हो छोरा गंगा किनारे वाला
Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest varieties, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.